just set up the agenda, continue with the agenda, and then one at a time.
Но можно, Алла, вопросы потом. Дайте им
Finish this, we will have Q&A, we will
Can you decide if you want to ask questions or you want to move to the agenda? Because every time it's a different situation.
We have to pay a couple of $1,000 right now.
So the maintenance was raised, and we are now currently at the same place as we were before the maintenance was lowered by the previous board, which was a bad decision because you do not do that. You create a maintenance holiday and you give people a month off. That was an imprudent financial decision, but that is behind us, and we are now back to where we were. So now we are at exactly where we were. The only thing is the parking spots. There is a small difference in the parking spot maintenances. And I'll give you an example of one random unit. 3195 was the first year, 3876 is the current year. I'll give you an apartment on the first floor. 605 was the first year, 59516 is the current year. I'll give you a penthouse. 1202 and 2 cents was the first year, 1180.78 is the current year.
You made your point, but it's not the point. Okay?
So our maintenance, unlike what you've been told, is not the highest in Oceana. Unlike what you've been told, it is not, we are not bankrupt. Currently we have $137 and $137.75. $137,075. I apologize. We have $37,000 in operating. We have, for those who don't know, we have multiple accounts. Different accounts are being used for different things. That's how it's normally done. Operating account is $37,049. That's the money that just, when we have to pay for the electric bill, it comes out of the operating account. It's for our daily operations, payroll, that kind of thing. Door lock breaks somewhere, doorknob has to replace it. Operating. Savings account, that's money that we're saving and we're holding on to. $84,101. Reserves is $15,796. And we have a debit card, which we use for little incidental expenses similar to petty cash. Let's say we have to go buy garbage bags at the local store. We can't have a bill, we can't write them a check and wait for the check to clear. We just need something right away.
What date?
Debit card is $129.
What date is that? May, June, what is it?
That's as of June 30th.
Can we get this information distributed?
This information is always and has always been and always will be available from management.
Never.
No, we try to get this information from the Miss Jennifer. She said, ask your lawyer.
We're not going to stop and discuss this until I'm done with the agenda. I'm sorry.
What's available?
That's a question. Questions are for Al.
You said it's available. What is available? I want to know.
$137,075.
No. You said the information is available to us.
All of this information, financials. Our financials are available
What
for
is
management.
that?
If you have questions,
the
we can.
monthly report is available to me.
If it's not
The monthly report is available.
I don't know what the proper procedures are with management. We can work that out. Whatever happens
Jennifer.
in every building is happening in our.
Jennifer, do you hear that?
Jennifer.
Okay, now we can Now,
Just so you know, it's not,
Am I available?
you could come in and see, you could come in and review the books.
The renovations
I can't keep making
should be
copies
done
for people and just
by the
showing
end of
you
this month.
different
we currently owe
I've
approximately
always got them.
$20,000 on the renovations, give or take a little. In terms of raising maintenance, I know you've been told that we are going to raise maintenance. This is not true. We have no plans on raising maintenance this year. We cannot project 10 years from now. Hopefully, a group of people who are responsible and rational will come to the election in the fall or whenever the election is going to be held next, and I won't have to be dealing with this. But in the meantime, this board has no interest in raising maintenance for the next year. There have been this, as part of the renovation discussions, there have been conversations about replacing the carpet. That is a valid point. We definitely need to replace the carpets. But it does not make sense to do anything with the carpets until all the work up top, all the renovations are done, because the carpet will get dirty no matter how good the coverings are. There's always a chance that we're going to either damage or soil the carpet. Now, one more thing that a number of people have told us, when the petition was going around, I want to address something. No matter who the board is, they cannot raise maintenance for one person versus another. If they raise maintenance, it's for everyone. If you do not sign a petition, people have been told, and they've told us, that they've been threatened with getting their maintenance raised, just theirs. That doesn't happen, that cannot happen. If anybody tells you that, do not worry, do not fear. It doesn't happen. It cannot happen. The way the rules are written, it's impossible to do that. You cannot punish a homeowner for anything. That's it on the renovations and the maintenance. In terms of bylaws, the request to have an election is a perfectly valid one, and we will have an election in October or November, as we normally should. In the past, we have had elections off of that schedule. This does not mean that anything dishonest has happened. This just simply means that that is when the election happened. If you do not know that there has been an election, that is very much because you are not paying attention. I'm sorry to be this blunt. I'm sorry to blame you, but we have not had a quorum in very many years. The last time we had a quorum that I remember was 8 years ago, where we had a lot of people come because we didn't have video cameras, because that was a choice of the previous board, and something happened in the building. Somebody had a big party, or there was vandalism, people's cars got lightly vandalized, there were broken vodka bottles in the elevators, and everybody showed up to the meeting, and that's when this current board got elected. That is the last time I remember that there was a quorum. I'm sorry, for those who don't know what a quorum is, by the rules, there has to be a minimum percentage of people from the building to show up to an election for the election to be valid. Otherwise,
$35.
December 8th, we have a quorum over here.
the two judges did not think so. 2 judges. So let's not start that.
Jennifer
Jennifer was here. She counted the people who was here.
Oh,
The judge counted the
And
people.
somehow the judges still ruled against you, even though judges love ruling for tenants when they feel that there was any kind of impropriety. And they ruled against you twice. I'm sorry, 3 times 2 judges. So I don't know what you had. What you had was a sheet of paper of people who wanted to have a meeting to talk about renovations. And then you started telling people, I held that election, you, Natasha, handed it to
Full
me.
lie, full lie.
I just move on.
I held it in my hands. I held it in my hands. Sorry, go ahead.
Fred, you can't do anything about that. That court case is over and everyone has to move on.
Yeah.
That's it.
The
Just
court-
move on.
the
Move
court
on.
case is over.
You
So
have to move on.
don't get
Move
off.
on.
An election may not be held.
Don't worry about it.
Just move on. Just move on.
This meeting was called by the request of a few people, mostly the same people who sued us. Who sued all of us, incidentally.
Nobody sued you.
Nobody sued you.
Who sued?
Who sued you?
You, and you, and you, and you.
Or you sue them
no,
more.
we don't sue you.
Personally, the
Why?
You got the lawyers, you paid with our money against us. You're doing the same thing right now. You're paying these people.
These people represent the board. They represent the board. The board represents all of us. Run for election in October. Run for election. Please. Please.
You have money from nothing. In a special meeting, you have a lot here.
Continue. So, the people who sued us, mostly the people who sued us, who sued the board, requested that we have a special meeting. That meeting was a valid request, and we honored that request as we are obligated to do. We have honored all of the legal requirements of the board. That's why we have to. attorney to make sure that everything is done
Two
properly.
attorneys, excuse me? One is not enough?
Let him finish.
Oh my God. What's the matter with you? What is the matter with you? But you wouldn't say the state
This is my.
So these are the people who want to be on the board. These are the people who want to be on the board.
We don't want to pay for this.
Now, we called a special meeting. We've explained what we had to explain. At a special meeting, the bylaws are very clear. We do not have elections at special meetings.
No.
We have elections at annual meetings.
But we didn't
No.
ask for election.
No.
You asked for a special meeting, I have it in writing.
Special meeting.
If you can't get this-
For the purpose.
Vika?
Is that a new
And
bylaw?
I want a fork to
Did
eat
you
my
read my
soup.
law?
It doesn't work that way.
Why we get a lawyer to explain to you?
That's what the lawyers are for, to explain these things. So, now, we have had the special meeting. We called this meeting, special meeting, closed. If anybody wants to hang around and ask questions, this meeting is closed. We are available to them to answer any questions and to address any kind of concerns you have. But if it becomes uncivil like it became last time, I will leave and anybody else will leave and there will be no more question and answer. So let's behave like the adults that we pretend that we are. And let's try to do what is actually the best thing for all of us. Because at the end of the day, when my apartment value goes down, everybody's apartment value goes down. This can be achieved very peacefully and friendly. Это не кино гараж. We can do this normally. So let's calm down and let's stop accusing. Let's answer anybody's questions and let's move on.
Anthony wants to
Anthony,
Can I get the floor?
you have the floor.
I have several questions to ask you.
By all
One at
means.
a time. First of all, your comment as far as the maintenance went down a couple of years, okay? And it was a mistake. It was a mistake because we have about $400,000 in the kitty at the time. So there's no point to having a raise in maintenance if you have that kind of money in the till. People were, or had the ability to pay less and still maintain the
enough
the
reserve.
Have a respect, please.
the expenses of the condominium, number
Anthony,
one.
in regards to what you just said, I'll address that.
Can he continue
it was a-
on because it's not.
It's the same question, I'm sorry, I thought you finished that.
Can I let him finish, please?
Number
Can we
two.
take one question and then I'll answer the
Yeah,
next question one
let
at
me
a time?
finish, you finished your
Your agenda?
things, I'm gonna finish my.
Fine, we can do that.
The other thing you said was that we sued you, okay? We sued the board. Why did we sue the board? As I recall, there was a little paper that was sent to you by the construction people that said you were spending $89,000 for the fixing up of the our lobby. 75,000 is the limit that you were allowed to use without the board, but the unit owner's approval. Okay? Okay. That's the reason why we went to court. Okay? And the reason court.
What did the court find?
Which is, the reason we didn't win at court, number one, was that I think it was the lawyer, okay, who did put a reason at the end of the petition to say that we didn't request what to be done. Not for any other reason, not because you guys exceeded $75,000. So you, in essence, what you did is you lucked out. You lucked out. That's what you did. Okay. I know that in the bylaws, okay, the bylaws calls for an annual No. An annual budget, okay? I have not seen an annual budget from the board. Not available, number one. Number two, according to the bylaws, there's an accountant that's supposed to give us an audited financial statement. Says 4 months from the end of the year. Haven't seen the financial. The only financial we ever got was 2014. So between 2014 and June 16th, nothing is told to unit owners. I think it's a disgrace on the board. I think that's something that the board is very remiss in doing.
Never minutes from the meetings, never any transparency. Nobody knows anything about anything. All we know that the board is making decisions for the whole building. The two hands in our pockets, decisions which we have a year.
Let me address, I'm sorry, we can't,
no, schedule.
one person, second person, anybody else want to jump in before I get to address? So Anthony, I'll go
The
first question.
schedule says you spend
Your first question was,
80,000, the other year 70,000, the
Thank you, Mr. Flores.
You have to have respect.
One at a time.
No, wait a second, wait
one
a
person
second.
asked a question.
Hold on, just give me 1 second. Wait, okay, is he finished with, are you finished with the questions? Okay, so let him finish his questions, and then we'll address them. I'm trying to remember them as he goes, and then we'll go. All right, go ahead.
You said to us, going back, that we cost you money for lawyers.
No, you didn't cost me.
Cost
You cost them.
cost us.
Yeah,
Because
everybody.
us, out of our pocket, it cost us money, okay?
Out of our budget.
Tonight, you're paying the same kind of money for what? For what?
To make sure that we're doing everything right so you don't sue us again.
You're not doing, you're not
Because
doing-
you're not competent.
Why you just to leave?
Wait,
Why you spend the money to the lawyer?
You don't need two lawyers to discuss the amount of.
We only pay one lawyer.
One lawyer. You don't need a lawyer to discuss the status of the condo. You don't need a lawyer to discuss what happened with the maintenance, or not with the maintenance. And you don't need a lawyer to discuss our meetings supposedly that we have. So, again, we're doing something that is in excess of what a normal board would do. Now, my last question. You have $137,000? How much is the account payable right now? What do you owe in terms of debt?
Jen, do you have that?
What, we don't know?
While Jennifer looks up those questions, I'll address it first.
The president doesn't know?
Call one at a time, because then if everybody throws out a
It's
question,
fine.
You don't know how much you have in your account?
I don't
Did you
think.
receive my mail?
Yeah, I have.
Did you bring it? Can we have it? No.
Yeah, I guess I can give you. Yeah. No, she's asking for year to date.
Он еще не закончил
So,
introduce
no,
other
for year to
people.
date, through June. So the first question
we
was,
don't know how much
she's looking it up. She's looking it up.
But you don't know how
Nobody knows.
much
I will not say anything unless I am 100% certain of the answer, because I'm going to end up in court again.
Who was the treasurer?
No, you're not, but you're not paying your
Who was the treasurer of?
Right.
Who is the treasurer?
So these are not audited. I know you know.
No, I know. I know.
So
Who was the treasurer?
we all serve in that capacity. We all approve of them.
We
There's no
all serve.
treasurer?
We don't have any specific person
You
designated.
don't have a treasurer?
We don't designate a treasurer.
Okay, how much is the payables?
So
Can we answer, start answer until?
We had $400,000 in the account in Anthony's tenure here. That is correct. It was a brand new building. What does it?
It's 3C8.
If you have something in account, you have something paid. What the difference?
She's looking that number up.
The treasurer is supposed
She
to
doesn't
know
have
this.
to tell you.
She calculated, she don't know the answer.
In that function.
It's impossible, this is not.
Possible, how we make it easy, we don't have a salary, we don't know the numbers.
Why do we have to remember everything off the top?
Unbelievable.
You have to be prepared for the meeting.
I have the income and expense. I have the income and expense. I didn't bring it out.
Can I look at that?
Yes, but can we do that after? Can I finish? I mean, every time I open my mouth, somebody jumps up. Yeah, but we're trying to address one person's question.
Yeah.
I mean, this was the question that we took turns.
Where is the balance sheet?
So we have $400,000 in our account. Anthony feels it was the proper decision. I do not. I feel that we could have given people a holiday. There were other options, and we discussed those options. Anthony wouldn't hear it. Now, Condo 9 has $1 million in their account. $1 million. Because they don't lower me. Because they don't lower maintenance. They collect the maintenance. Now, when you have a brand new building that needs 0 repairs, it's easy to collect money because nothing costs you anything. Our building leaks like a sieve. 26 leaks we've had over the years. One year we spent, I think, $50,000 or $60,000 attempting to fix the leaks on the outside of the building. We replaced the tanks in the basement, the water tanks. These things did not happen in the first 5 years.
Are you done with the answering this question?
I'm sorry?
Are you done with the answering?
I'm answering that first question. He had
So the question was, what is the accounts payable?
She's looking it up.
You don't think you know?
Why you coming to the meeting?
Why are you coming to meetings without financials?
Но этот вопрос должен просто отлетать от зуба. Они вот так вот сейчас бумаги разложите в калькуляторе, чтобы считать.
Yes, we have it. We owe I already said that.
Hello!
You owe approximately $20,000.
Can I talk?
Yeah.
Okay? It goes to show you how much you have your hands on. I asked a simple question, how much do you
It's a constantly changing number.
It's taken 10 minutes to tell me how much you owe.
It's a constantly changing number, Anthony. You know that.
So you have to be prepared for a meeting. You have to be prepared.
This is a volunteer position.
If you have financial,
Excuse me.
in financial, you can see how much you owe. Accounts payable, you can see on financial. Do you have financial? Can you distribute among us so we can see it? Is it possible?
Jennifer did not bring enough financials for her. She went to the office to get them. If you want the financials, the audited financials that have been reviewed by accountants.
She's a general manager. She's not our position.
Neither am I. I'm a volunteer. I'm a volunteer. We're all volunteers. Our job is to manage the management company. That's our job. I asked Donna to bring these numbers this afternoon. She forgot. People make mistakes. We tried. I served on the board of HOA after Sandy, and we tried. Nobody wants to manage us because we Lana's building can't fix the door to the basement. Lana's building can't. I'm on the board.
What about Larissa building?
Larissa's building is under what?
Change
What?
management.
They changed
Town
the
management?
Yeah.
But that's the same management.
No, it's not true.
I know.
They
I know
have a
Lana,
different
I know
Guys,
Lana.
we are
They
not
change
discussing
management.
subjects right now. Right now, there is more important things. They have a dysfunctional board with the teeth and nails trying to
Absolutely.
hold on to their position. And they don't want to go right now.
Listen, guys, if you're currently discuss financials,
For those of you who don't understand how the financials work, let me try and explain. At the end of the year, the financials are handed off, once the year is closed, to an accountant. Universal CPA. That accountant reviews them and audits them. What is an audit? An audit is when the accountant says, I swear my license on the fact that these numbers are correct.
No.
Until those numbers are
No,
audited.
he doesn't. You don't know what an accountant does.
I took accounting 1 and 2. I was an accountant.
I'm a CPA. Remember, I'm a CPA.
They basically say that they know, they believe, if you want to be super specific, that they believe that all the numbers are accurate to the best of their knowledge. They didn't discover any malfeasance or dishonesty.
Wrong.
Mature Anthony. It's real mature. So the last audited financials we have is 2014. Sorry. The accountant is not chosen by us. The accountant is chosen by the entire community. We do not choose who the accountant is. We go with the accountant that the community chooses. Every building works like this. Every building works like this. I am not an accountant. I used to be an accountant, but I'm not. We offered Anthony years ago the option to help us with the financials. Anthony refused. He wanted a spot on the board. We offered you, Allah, we offered you a position, not you, behind. We offered you an option to serve as a consultant. You asked for a free parking spot for your gym teacher. But we don't own any parking spots.
That's it. This is good.
You're asking for compensation. Not only is that dishonest, it's also insane because once you receive compensation, you can be legally liable for mistakes. If you made a mistake, the building can sue you. Why? You could have been here. You could have helped us with this if you wanted.
Gregory, first of all, the comment about the accountant is wrong.